everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Discovering Doctor Who. I was planning on having a bit of a funny introduction going on here, but plans have changed because I am not going to be able to get home tonight until after 9 o'clock at night, which leaves very little time for editing and recording and all that. So, yeah, it looks like I'm going to actually be recording this at the airport, so please do forgive me if I stumble or if there are a lot of cuts here, because I'm going to do my very best, but it could be very difficult, and there will probably be a lot of background noise. So anyway, today's episodes are The Hungry Earth and Cold Blood, a pretty darn good two-parter if I do say so myself. And let's get started with my favorite parts of this episode, starting with Rory. Holy crap. This episode... he definitely proved himself this episode, to say the least. From the beginning to the end, I loved it when he got mistaken for a police officer, and, you know, all the awkward little funny things he did. It was a lot of fun. He did a really good job through this episode. And actually, one of the quotes of the episode includes him as well. And then, oh my god, the end. The end! When Rory dies. I'm going to actually have a question about that at the end of the episode, so I won't go on about that too much, but oh my god. Alright, anyway, number 2. The Silurians, however you pronounce that, aka Homo reptilia. And my thing just went off here. Here we go. But yes, the Silurians, aka Homo reptilia, they were pretty cool. Some of the commenters in the previous episode mentioned how they are sort of a classic villain with the Doctor Who series, and I'm interested to see where they pop up in the classic episodes once we get around to that. When they first appeared, I actually thought it was like another incarnation of the cactus creatures that we saw in a previous episode, the last couple episodes with David Tennant. But yeah, they were very interesting and a very I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe. I like the way they were presented. But at the same time, I guess it was kind of disappointing that we don't get more of them, or we don't get, as far as I know, we don't get to really learn more about them because they're in hibernation for the next 1,000 years. Of course, with Doctor Who being a time traveler, undoubtedly we might have chances to see them in the future, but considering they haven't, this is the first time they've shown up since the classic episode, that's a little bit confusing and a little bit, I guess a little bit disappointing overall. Hopefully we do see a little bit more of them at some point in the future. Maybe not, but whatever. I really like them and the different characters that came from that, including the twins, which I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but yeah, they were pretty cool characters, to be completely honest. Now, my third favorite part of this episode was Nasreen Chaudhry, and she... even though she's only in these 2 episodes, she is definitely companion material. I honestly wish that, if it wasn't for the fact that she obviously stayed behind to be with Tony whenever the hibernation period is over, I honestly could have seen her being a full-fledged companion for the show. She just had an awesome attitude, very outgoing. At first I didn't think there would be much about her, but she really surprised me in the way that her personality and everything just shined through in both of these episodes. I really, really liked her a lot. Now, my 4th favorite part of these episodes was the idea of the people that were left behind. Rory, Tony, and oh, I forgot her name. Tony's daughter, whatever her name was. Like them being given the task to be the best of humanity, and to, you know, basically show the Silurians that humans aren't just apes, that they aren't just these primitive, stupid creatures, which obviously that did fall through, but just the idea of, you know, the Doctor expecting so much from people, expecting so much from anyone, I just thought it was a pretty cool concept, and especially the way that it was portrayed and the way that events occurred throughout these 2 episodes. I really like that. Now, my fifth favorite part of these episodes was the Doctor himself. Now, I haven't, I've forgotten to mention this in previous episodes, especially the more recent ones, but to answer some of the questions some of you all might have had, yes, Matt Smith has definitely taken up the role of the Doctor in a very good way. I'm really enjoying him at this point, and I mean, he's definitely the Doctor as far as I'm concerned. He, you know, I still kind of prefer the others, Eccleston and Tennant, but Matt Smith just does such a darn good job. I mean, you know, he's, you know, very silly, very goofy, and I like that aspect. But then there's the whole, one of the things that some of you commenters pointed out is that, you know, he's very good at portraying the idea that he is over 900 years old, and oh my god, you know, some of those moments that just shine through, they're just absolutely amazing, and he really does a good job of portraying that. So, you know, I can count that on, you know, credit that to the writing, possibly credit that, you know, just to the acting, but yeah, overall, just a great job. So yeah, the Doctor in this episode, and of course others before it, one of my favorite parts of these two episodes. Now, my sixth and final favorite part of these two episodes is the characters' chemistry. And you know, I won't go on about that too much, but overall, just even beyond the three main characters, Rory, Amy, and the Doctor, you know, their chemistry just continues to grow, with the exception of one, obviously, for obvious reasons, Rory. But the way that they interacted with some of the other characters too, particularly Nasreen Chaudhry, the way she interacted with the Doctor, just the way that the characters interact with each other, the chemistry there, it has really been improving over time as episodes go on. I'm just really happy to see that. I don't know if it's just the dialogue or what, but just the way that everyone works with each other has really improved, especially in recent episodes. Moving on to my annoyances with these two episodes, there aren't very many, and you could say that some of them are nitpicks, and one of them I'm just kind of thrown in because to say it. But my first annoyance with these episodes is the Venom, particularly the Venom that came from Amelia, or well, whatever, the first Silurian that we meet. Her Venom when she strikes Tony, just the way all that works. I don't know, it seemed to me that, you know, it should just... the idea that, you know, being struck with the Venom causes you to turn into one of them seems more than a little bit far-fetched. Now, of course, this is Doctor Who, and a lot of stuff is far-fetched, but, yeah, I didn't really like the way that works. Like, in my mind, it should just be a poison if it's a Venom. If you know, someone's going to be hit with something and it causes them to turn into your species, I would expect it to be something more than a tongue flick, if you know what I mean. But, you know, maybe that's something that was pre-established in the old Doctor Who, I don't know for sure, but that's just the way it came across to me. Now, my second annoyance with these two episodes, and this is particularly with the daughter of Tony, whose, again, name I can't remember, but some of the acting was just really cringeworthy. You know, it wasn't bad per se, and overall, you know, the acting in these two episodes was pretty darn good, including from the kid actor, but some of it was just bad. Again, especially from that character, whose name I will try and put in text here in the video. But yeah, I mean, you know, a little nitpick there, some of the acting wasn't that great. It could have been a heck of a lot better. Now, the third and final annoyance I have with this episode, it goes beyond even being a nitpick. But why did they have to take Rory out all of a sudden like that? Why? That just seems completely unnecessary. And I'm not going to go on about that because, again, it's like going to be a question I have at the end of this video. So, yeah, those are my annoyances with this episode. Again, surprisingly very few. I guess you would say, well, if I had a fourth annoyance with these, it's that the two episodes, strangely enough, just didn't seem all that grand, I guess. They seemed kind of boring in a way. Yeah, it's weird to say because I really did like both of these episodes. I like this two-parter. There was just something about it that made the two of them seem a bit less than the previous episode. strangely enough. I don't know, maybe I'll be able to sort that out a little bit more later and, record it later if I get a chance. But for some reason, it just, I don't know. And it's not so much, it's very much a nitpick, but yeah, it felt a little bit lackluster at times, especially in comparison to the episode that came before it, but only in certain ways. But moving on from there, the song of the episode, in my opinion, is one called The Silurians by, of course, Murray Gold. And this song it really just encapsulates the Silurians, especially the military aspect of them. It's just an epic song from start to finish, and really, really good. And again, as before, I will link to a video of that in the annotations below.
Hi everybody, as you might have guessed by this complete different venue, one of the clips from the video I recorded at the airport was completely unusable due to the audio and about 30 straight seconds of people laughing that I absolutely cannot filter out at all. So while the rest of the video may still be a little bit noisy, as for the quotes of the episode, I actually have two, and they were pretty good ones, I felt, or at least they made me laugh. The first of which is between Rory and the Doctor when they're trying to get the door open, and Rory says, "Can't you sonic it? It doesn't do wood. It doesn't do wood? That's rubbish. Oi, don't diss the Sonic." That one right there, it was so funny, and, you know, considering my complaint about, the Sonic not being able to undo an old, deadbolt in the previous episode, I just thought that was pretty funny. And then my second quote of the episode is actually between Rory and Amy, and excuse me, the quote is, "Amy, I thought I'd lost you." "What? Just 'cause I got sucked into the earth? You're so clingy." And the reason why I love that quote so much is that although, you know, the quote itself, like, out of context, seems a bit rude, joking, obviously, but it's the way that it's said, and the smile on her face when she says it. It's like, you know, you can tell that there's love there. You can tell that Amy actually does care for Rory. So yeah, those are the two quotes of the episode. And now to get back to the fairly noisy segments from the airport. Everyone, I really hope you'll forgive me for this episode, but, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, go ahead and go to that. Go!
Now to wrap things up here, overall what I think about these episodes, I thought they were really good. The first one I would say is probably stronger than the second overall, but all in all, I would say it's a pretty decent episode. I wouldn't say that it's in my top, it wouldn't be one of my absolute favorites, but it's definitely up there. It's one of the stronger episodes overall in the season. Just, you know, again, not it's especially one of my favorites, but yeah, it was really good. Or pretty good. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted here in the airport. Anyway, this leaves me with a couple of questions as to this episode. First of all, why did the Doctor grab a piece of the TARDIS from the crack? I know that's probably going to be revealed later in the season as it goes along, but I am very, very intrigued to find out what is going on there. And second of all, why? Why did Rory have to go? And, you know, and this is the real question I have here. Did you all mess with me? Were you all seriously just messing with me, talking about how, oh, Rory has this great storyline, and, you know, he becomes what Mickey couldn't be, and then he's just gone. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if Rory's going to come back somehow, or what, but it just... I feel like you all betrayed me, in a way, and if so, naughty, naughty, naughty. But I'll find out what happens as it goes along, I guess. I'm just really disappointed that Rory's gone, overall, because I had really high hopes for him as a character. But anyway, everyone, I apologize again for the low quality of this episode. Just had to do what I could in order to try and get this out in time, and also be able to get this recorded in time. But the next episode I will be covering will be Vincent and the Doctor. And from everything I hear, it's going to be a very good episode. Cannot wait to see it. And until then, everyone, I'm Papa Ken, and I will see you next time on Discovering Doctor Who.